Do we need to discuss the mental health of brown people who measure themselves in terms of how white they look? So I do live streams regularly, and every time people come into the comment section asking me whether I think they're white, whether I think their country belongs to Europe. For example, last night, a guy from Azerbaijan, Farid, obviously a Muslim name, claims that Azerbaijan, a Central Asian country, deserves to belong to the European Union because Greenland also belongs to the European Union. If anything at all, I think Azerbaijan belongs to Turkey because you're like Turkic Islamic people. You don't belong to Europe. Turkey doesn't belong to Europe. It's an Islamic country. They don't belong to Europe. They're not Europeans, right? And you can see how ill this is when people from Iran demand that they are also white people, that they are also like Europeans, because they show you a picture of some guy from southern Spain who looks very brown because southern Spain was colonized by Arabs, so you have a lot of Arab genetics in southern Spain, and say, well, if this brown person can be European, then we can be European. No, you cannot. Iranians don't have European ancestry. You're not Europeans, right? You're not Christian. You have no European history. You don't speak a European language. What do you want? At this point, it starts to look like there should be an Olympic Games, but only for brown people, where they have to do competitions to prove how white they are, and the winners can live in Europe. My God, that's a mental health crisis, isn't it? That is so sick. An Asian person from East Asia asked me this question, whether I think that East Asians are the most white people after white people. And I'm shaking my head like, what are you talking about? Why do you measure yourself in terms of how white you think you are? East Asian people are their own unique race of people. They're not white people. They're themselves. What do you want? Or people calling Japanese people honorary whites. And that's a funny thing to say, but they're not white people. They're Japanese people. They're their own unique ethnic group who cannot be measured in terms of how white they are, because nobody does it the other way around. Nobody looks at Nigerians and then we ask like, oh, but Germans could be honorary Nigerians. What? Do you see how weird that is? Or Italians, Southern Italians, they're like 0.001% Nigerian, so they could be part of Nigeria. What? What? What are you talking about? This is crazy and it needs to stop. Nobody should measure themselves in terms of how white they are, except white people who are white. Everybody else is not white, end of story. And no, you can't become part of the European Union either. Stop it.